Hi everyone, it's been a little while since I've done a video, and the reason being is I've had a little bub and things have just been a little bit up in the air and I haven't done a video for a long time, and part of my New Year's resolutions was to start filming again so that I can educate the world. And the main topics I talk about are mindset, training and nutrition. And at the moment, there are a lot of people struggling because they have New Year's resolutions and they want to change their old behavior. They don't want to repeat last year or the year before. So I'm here again to educate you, to help you move forward and to create some new tools and strategies so that you can have a better year this year and be the best version of you. So we're going to look at a particular client today. So I've been talking to about 2 or 3 clients at the moment, and they're reflecting back on the older version of them. The older version of them was a fitter, healthier kind of person. And I talked to them about it and I'm like, well, success leaves clues. Let's really break down what this person did, which is the old version of you, differently to who you are now. And so we're going to talk about one lady, we call her Bondi Babe. So we talked about who she used to be in Sydney and we nicknamed her Bondi Babe. And Bondi Babe, what did she do differently to the current version of her? Well, first of all, she used to walk absolutely everywhere. So that's a lot of steps. We worked it out, it was about 15 to 20,000 steps a day. At the moment, she'd be lucky to get 1 or 2,000 steps because with COVID and being in lockdown and obviously not being able to go out as much as she used to, and she lives in a totally different state, so she relies on her car a lot more. So there's a significant drop in activity. There was also a significant drop in her activity overall when it came to her training. So she used to train for 19 hours a week, and that's including like cardio and weights, and it's not something I'm going to endorse. But we went the halfway ground, which is, okay, let's train 4 days a week. Let's make sure you're getting your 10,000 steps a day. So that's going to boost up her activity, not only in planned exercise, but also making incidental exercise, such as parking the car further away or going for a walk at lunch so she's away from her desk. So there are some little things that the old version of her used to do, and we need to bring that back. She ate clean, lean food. So predominantly her protein came from meat sources. She ate green, lean vegetables, had some good fats in there. There wasn't the packet food that she's returned to. It's not any of the takeaway that seems to somehow slip in. All these little things seem so minute, but over the course of the last couple of years, that has meant an extra 30 kilos for her. So we're working on the old version of her and what that person did. Let's bring it back to where she is now. So she's now started the year eating a lot more healthy foods, whole foods, just foods that if they didn't grow on the ground, fly in the sky, or walk the earth, she doesn't eat them. Now, that's not being 100% strict, but it's 90% better than what she used to. So she's having 1 or 2 meals still where there won't be classed as like your clean, lean kind of foods, but there's some form of balance as opposed to a lot more takeaway and a lot more processed packet food. So that's another example of what Bondi Babe. And if you want to think about this in your own world, you might want to give that person a little bit of a title. We called her Bondi Babe because she was living in Bondi, but you could think up a name that kind of goes with that version of you. So it might have been Hot Michelle or Confident Kelly, whichever, whatever. Play with the names and then come up with those list of habits that that person used to do. Another one was she'd always wear her hair and makeup and look well presented, because the way that you present yourself, and it's not for the rest of the world, it's actually for you. So you put on makeup and you put on nice clothes and brush your hair, you turn up to the world a lot differently than if you don't bother to do your makeup and your hair's all scruffy. So it's about presentation for you, because that helps manage your state and you make different choices based on the way that you dress, as opposed to hair messy, daggiest trackies, sloppy t-shirts, it's got a few holes in it and some paint on it. So they are little things that you can do to be able to change your state. Bondi Babe used to also take all her supplements and all her magnesium particularly, that's a big one, and vitamin D. She'd get lots of vitamin D from the sun, but she also was supplementing with vitamin D, and she took a multivitamin. And then she'd also have a protein powder and a collagen powder. Now, all that has gone out the window in this version of her. So let's go back to Bondi Babe, find some little clues, and start taking sups again. She'd have a smoothie for breakfast every single morning. She would also eat every couple of hours so she didn't get starving hungry and then raid the pantry. She'd drink 4 litres of water. We also talked about the style of training. So she was doing things like OzTag, which is a very social activity. She was also joining a gym and she would go there, and it was a form of competitiveness, but not in a negative way. It was competing against other people, but they didn't know that she was competing with them. And we talked about, well, okay, you've been training from home and you're not as motivated and you don't push yourself. How about joining a gym again? And that's on her to-do list this week. For her homework is to join the gym again. So again, success leaves clues. Bondi Babe has clues. She enjoyed socializing. She enjoyed going to the gym because that's where her friends were. Let's bring that back. Do more of what works. And for Bondi Babe, that worked. We're going to repeat it. She used to catch up with friends for coffee or a walk instead of going for muffins. And when it came to a night out with girlfriends, she'd get dressed up and feel pretty. At the moment, she's not going out. So she's now going to have a hot little date with her partner as a reason to get dressed up. So there's these lots of little tiny habits that you can bring back in. Her mindset, she was externally motivated by the people in the gym, even though they didn't know she was competing against them, but she was. And she was just a lot more positive. She'd start the day with a gratitude journal as opposed to now it's just like pick up the phone, scroll through Facebook. Well, that's not going to start your day in the most positive way. So how about writing a couple of things that you're grateful of? There was training and it was more of a social thing. It was a can-do attitude. Her identity was a fit, healthy person. So there was a definite distinction between that identity of a fit person and what they do versus what she does now. So think about, well, okay, what identity did I have when I was 5 or 10 kilos lighter? What did that person do, be, or have differently to this current person? Okay, let's break down the mindset. What did they believe differently? What did they see their future like differently? What things did they tell themselves? What was their self-talk like? There's lots of little clues about mindset. And you know that if you've been following my stuff for a while, I believe the trifecta is your mindset, your training, and your nutrition. You need those 3 pillars for success. That's your trifecta. So look at the mindset stuff, because you can't out-train a bad diet. You can't out-diet a bad diet. You need to look at your mindset as well. It's the key, this like the biggest muscle that needs training. And her biggest mantra, which was written on her car visor, which was, yesterday's hard is today's easy. So she kept just pushing herself that little bit. Is these little incremental upgrades that take you that 1% better and that 1% better and that 1% better. So my challenge for you is to take out your journal, draw a line down the page, and on one side, you're going to have all the old you behavior, and we can give her a cute little name, and then the new me current version, so that you can have in black and white this stark difference of what the old version of you used to do and what the new version of you did. And these are some of the questions, so you might want to jot these down, which is, what version of you did things differently? What did she believe differently? What rituals, behaviors, habits, bookends, all these things that she used to do, what don't you do anymore? What are the automatic habits? Like for me to train, that's just like breathing. I just do that naturally because it's an automatic behavior for me. Taking my protein shake and my collagen, that's an automatic behavior for me. I don't have to think about it because it's been ingrained in my neurological pathways over and over and over again, so I don't even think about it. So think about, what are those old habits of you that were so ingrained that they almost felt like they'd never break, but somehow they have. And somebody's given me a thumbs up. I think that might be Joel. And I've got Dylan and Michelle on here. So great to see you guys. Thanks for coming back and listening to my little tips and tricks. And obviously today we're talking about the old version of you versus the new version of you and identifying what that person does differently. So please take the time to sit and journal this stuff. If you're struggling with eating behavior and possibly binge eating or stress eating, you need to do the mindset work. It's not going to come naturally. It's not going to be something that you can out train or you can out diet. It is those mindset pieces, and this is what most of my videos are about, is giving you those tools and strategies. And if you haven't read my book, I've got Empowered Eating, Binge Free Forever. And I've just recently released my 7 Steps to Quit Binge Eating Forever. It's an online course where we go through 50 different videos and worksheets to help you move forward so that this year you can do things differently. It is the mindset work that has been missing in your life. And I've spelt it out step by step, 7 steps, and work through the videos, work through kind of like these kind of videos, but they also come with worksheets as well. And we also do our Tuesday night group coaching session as well, and that's all part of that package. So if you go to my website, Transformations by Kim, you will find both my book and you'll also find the 7 Steps to Quit Binge Eating Forever. So this is a program designed to reprogram your brain so that you can go from emotional stress eater to empowered eater. And I'll take you through step by step. And it's tools and strategies I've worked and used with hundreds of my clients. And it's been spelt out in a really easy to follow format. And if you do the mindset work, you can be like some of my other clients and actually break through this old behavior. It doesn't have to define you. It doesn't have to be your future. You can do things differently. And it starts with the mindset work. So welcome back to my channel. I'll be putting this up on Facebook. I will also put it on my YouTube channel, and I'll be emailing it out to my email list as well so that few people can get the messages, and obviously I'm here to help you. So if you've got any feedback, any questions, or anything that you feel that I can talk about next time, please either email me at kim@realfit.com.au, that's FITT, or just DM or private message me and I can do the video for you. Have an awesome night, and I will talk to you possibly next week, this time next week. Take care.